Welcome everybody, GA Simpilot here, continuing on our second leg from flight from Michigan to Florida to Michigan. Today we're going to continue on our flight from Brunswick, Georgia, and we're going to go VFR to Savannah today. Pretty straightforward flight. Except today we had some, I got real world weather loaded in. We had some pretty significant winds today, so I'm sure that will make flying a challenge. Let's look at what they're reading right now. 270 at 7. Alright, so they've fallen down a little bit. This is real world weather right now, with the time being somewhat similar to about 2 hours after we landed from the part 1. Today it was, I kept looking and trying to get on this afternoon and I couldn't, but I think it was like 270 to 290, 17 knot winds gusting to 25. So I was hoping to get out in that weather just to see what it would have been like, but a little bit lighter conditions now at 7. So anyways, you can see right here. Let's see what Savannah's got going on. I'm using the cheating method right here, by just checking up. I do want to double check and make sure that wind 300 at 10, so a little bit different. That's a significant altimeter drop compared to here. I mean, I think we're only 50 miles away. That's significant. Okay, so let's see here. Savannah, ATIS is 123.75, so we got... There is apparently no ATIS. So that's interesting. Let's see, tower is 119.1. Okay, so that's good. So clearance delivery 119.55. Okay, so all that looks good. It's just no ATIS. Probably be one of those things where I jump into WED and go plug that in to WED one of these days. I'm going to make a note here. Plug that into Savannah, just so it's there. I like any of the airports that I've made moving forward. I want to make sure that everything's got the current frequencies. That way pilots can get more familiar with using their charts from SkyVector or what have you, and being able to translate those into X-Plane. I've found some of the main airports were way off, so okay. Second thing we're going to be testing today is my brand new panel. I have the Cessna, let's see here, the Cessna Model 1015 electrical starter panel from Desktop Aviation. And you'll see a picture of that on the display or on the YouTube page. But essentially, it's an exact identical copy of this panel right here, minus obviously the breakers. But it takes a little time to just to get your X-Plane command set up. But Desktop Aviator does do a good job of giving you a printout sheet of exactly what the X-Plane code is for which button you have it set to. So it takes about 6 to 10 minutes to set that up. But once you get that set up, you're golden. And as you can see, I'm completely hands off with my my mouse now, and you can watch the key, and you can see that just turns. Everything's on. Beautiful. Alright, let's start her up. Let's get her going. Alright, same configuration as last time. I do have her stowed up, so let me I'm going to do the quick way and make her ready for aircraft. Alright. We got our fuel ready, set. Another side note is I have finally got connected to FS Economy and flown a couple times on FS Economy. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying that, digging that. The only problem is I like flying in North Florida, and there's really not a whole lot of Cessnas over there, or aircraft that I actually have that I prefer to fly. So that leads me to one or two options: either buy the aircraft or make enough money in FS Economy so I can buy one. Let's get her started here. Alright, battery on. Just going to turn the beacon on. Mixture full. Fuel pump on. And
the engine seems ideally
good.
primed.
Alright, throttle up. Mixture back. Fuel pump off. Alternator on. Starts up like a dream. I'm telling you, this panel is
cold.
everything.
Use less throttle during warm-up.
Need a little bit more fuel here. Okay. So yeah, you guys will see a nice little picture of that on the highlight of this stream, or the YouTube video. Wow, it's late night. And I'll put a link to the website if you guys are interested in looking at it. Flawless though, flawless. Once you got it set up. Alright, so we're going to use our panel again, turn the avionics on. And the goal, possibly by the end of this year, is to have enough panels where I can go completely hands-off to build up my sim. And we're going to go VFR today. I think some of my next panels, my next panel is going to be probably the Go Flight multi-purpose, I guess is what it's called. I don't know if it's the 48 or whatnot. That should make light of almost all of my other situations, especially with radios and whatnot. And then probably the general 4 rotary button and 8 toggles for all my other stuff, OBS's and Heading Bug and anything else I can think of. But and then I'll kind of retrofit my whole little sim. So as we wait for the temp to rise, because we are in the Airfoil Labs 172, it wants to be right or it will act like a pain in the butt. So we're going to do that. Alright, let's grab our ATIS from AWOS at Brunswick 124.175. If you watched that
Brunswick
first video,
Golden Isles weather. Wind 270 at 7, visibility more than 10.
2991.
Sky clear, temperature 7, dew point 0. Altimeter 2991. Brunswick Golden Isles
altitude
weather.
of Brunswick is 20.
Wind 270 at 7,
So that looks right
visibility more than 10.
yeah,
Sky
let's
clear,
go 2991.
temperature 7,
Okay,
2.0.
that's good.
Altimeter 2991.
Alright. 270 at 7, so we're going to take off 25, which means we're going to go down all the way down Alpha.
Brunswick Golden Isles weather.
Okay.
Wind 270
We
at 7.
are also
Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature
We will
7.
navigate
2.0.
off of
Altimeter 2991.
the Savior, which is 115.95. So we're going to plug that one in.
Brunswick Golden Isles weather. Wind 270 at 7. Visibility more than 10.
115.95.
Sky clear. Temperature 7. 2.0.
Okay. There we go,
Altimeter
in the box.
2991.
And we're just going to navigate direct after we make our pattern out of here. Okay.
Brunswick
Checks
Golden
good, checks
Isles
good.
weather.
We're going to
Wind 270 at 7. Visibility more than
got
10.
that. Next code we're going to need here. Obviously, we're going to simulate. Okay, we don't have the ATIS for. We're going to have to get the ATIS for Savannah. Oh, so meanwhile, I was saying about FS Economy. If I get the opportunity to pick up some passengers and do some flights during this trip back to Michigan, I will do that. However, like I said, in the southern part of Georgia and northern part of Florida, there has not been very many Cessnas. There's been plenty of jobs, but of course they're going in the opposite direction, South Florida, and then there hasn't been a lot of Cessnas where I could move it and pick something up, so kind of got to deal with that. So temperatures start to come back up, so we're looking good. All right, so our taxi switch on. Let's get going. Okay. Okay, let's look left. Track IR. Something else that I want to get. I'm not going to go with the 3-screen setup. I think I'm going to stick with one big screen and then just go with Track IR for future. Let's come back off the power a little bit. Yep. Ooh, she's live. Okay. Brake test. Brakes are good. Okay, so let's taxi along this tarmac area. Everything's clear. Big old jet right there, 747. Wow. That is definitely doesn't seem like it should be here. I don't know. But I'm going to taxi this way because I don't want to hit that thing. So we're going to head out of here. Brunswick, take off runway 25, do a left pattern, and head north. If you guys have watched my first leg video, we were flying at night early in the morning, and I had noticed a set of lights that were way out in the ocean, and after I ended that flight, I went back and tried to find out what the heck that was so that I could, you know, just find out what that was. And it was literally an oil rig that was about 100 miles off the coast. Now, I did some research and digging, and although it's proposed, I don't think we have any oil rigs off the shore yet. Anybody can correct me on that, but I searched and searched and searched, and all I've seen is it being proposed that they were going to start drilling off on the coast. Not I don't think it was for actual oil, but natural gas. But like I said, I've never heard of them being out there, but maybe they got them. You know, X-Plane's got them set in the library and the scenery just to have them out there. But that's what it was. I checked. I wanted to make sure we didn't have like an aircraft carrier floating out there unsuspectingly, which would make sense because you got Mayport and NAS Jax up in northern Florida that you know, potentially the East Coast carriers would hang out there for carrier ops and practice and stuff. But that's kind of the other reason I wanted to go check it, because if it was, that would be some entertaining flying for another video some other time. I used to enjoy flying the F-18 and doing carrier landings on FSX acceleration. Wouldn't mind trying it in the good old sim in X-Plane. Alright, holding short 2-5. Well, let's put our parking brake in. And let's do a nice little run up with our fancy new toy here. Alright, so we're looking for 1800. Okay, everything's in the green. Let's put our mixture all the way up. Okay. Alright, let's test the left mag. No more than a little jump there. Let's go right mag. Stabilized. Don't like the jump. We'll check the maintenance. Kind of don't like those mags. Let's check maintenance, see what's going on. Everything looks good. Fuel quantity. I did reset my fuel quantity, or oil. It was low. Alright, let's come back down off power. Alright. Alright. I just can watch down here and see some of the cool features. Alright, so I'm going to turn taxi landing lights on, taxi off, strobe on. And we would put fuel pump on, but this thing does not like the fuel pump in. So we'll do it. Alright, here we go. Let's check trim. Fuel to center, trim to takeoff. Let's go down up a little bit more of that. Nope. A little bit south of takeoff is where I like it. Alright. Alright. GPS set to nav. Cool. We are on somewhat of an easterly northeast coast. Oh my goodness, northeast course. So we'll be taking an even altitude. So let's cruise this one at 25. What is our leg supposed to be? Look here. Our leg is 54.5 miles, so not too bad. We can cruise it. Yeah, let's do 25. Okay. Alright. Parking brake off. Everything's still in the green. Let's go full power. Okay, airspeed's alive. Passing 50, 60, rotate. Ooh, yeah. I changed a couple of the sounds. There's a lot of different sounds that you can choose for some of the different things from XP Realistic. I felt that the airframe sound was a little off from what it would be in the Cessna, so I did a little bit of changing, so you'll hear some of those different sounds now. I think it's a little bit more immersive now. Okay. So we can hit our turn on west, or north, 34. Okay. Whoa, looks like we're getting really high. Yes, we were. Let's trim that down a bit. Okay, let's get on our downwind leg and get close to leveling off here. Alright, so let's use the OBS needle, find out where our radial is. Okay, so just left to north. Let's track it on the 2-0. So, and we're going to depart and go on that heading right now. And we're almost at 25. Take a little power out. And landing lights can come off. I'm actually doing the cardinal rule wrong here, so if we want to track on 2-0, we're going to be tracking on 200. This is why I want to get one of those rotary knobs. Okay, so we're breaking our altitude a little bit here. Come back and intercept, and we're going to intercept this radial a little bit more. This is needing a lot of trim to come back down.
Exceeding maximal RPM limit engine damage.
I really like that. Guess we're my mistake. We are right or left of our radial. So we'll come back to that. Decrease some more power. So let's grab that ATIS. We're not too far out right now. Okay, so we're looking at 300. Winds at 10. 2986. Technically, don't have to follow all the VFR rules of altitude because we're not above 3,000. 2986, which is such a weird. Okay, 2986. We're gonna go visual on this Phantom. And head down. Mach 5. $45 miles. A little bit lower right now. Bring it back up. Right. Other than that, just a cruising along. Somewhat nice scenery. Really like to have ortho, but something you gotta wait on. Sailboat out there. Autopilot, nav, altitude. Okay, let's take a rock outside. Watch your ears. Beautiful aircraft. Golly. Such a well done aircraft from airfoil. And I am running the high-res model this time. Just awesome. This well-defined corrugated metal up on the top. Just marvelous. Hinges. Just looks stunning. Mirrors. And why this thing is all of a sudden turning, I do not know. So I'm going off of it. Let's see if it comes back if I go back on it. I just don't know what it wants, why it wants to do that. Wow, we're really slow. Try, since we're flying VFR, how about we fly a little bit of VFR? Okay, so to my right should see a major highway. That would be I-95. So let's look for that. That looks like that would be it right there. So let's follow along I-95. How about we do that? Won't be the fastest route, but it'll be fun VFR training. Okay, there she is right there. So let's just follow along. Some of the tips that I have heard, not as far as my reading of the AIM, but VFR, like the road system in USA, you would follow on the right-hand side of the road for traffic going, following the same way you would in a car. And that way, if there's another person navigating along the same road, you would be on the opposite sides of the highway. Let's double check and make sure that that's a 4-lane, 2-lane at this point, but yes, that's a major highway right there. 8 lanes. Alright, so let's follow along that. 34 miles out now off the DME. So 30 at 10. So we're probably looking at, let's see if that's changed. 10, okay, 86. Okay, so we're looking at runway 28. Following along. RPMs. Pull that back a little bit. See the airport. Just outside the MOA is following the, uh-oh, what do we got going on here? Somebody got busted for speeding. Well, look at that. 29 miles out. Putzing along in a little Cessna. So some of my data or information from the first leg of the trip, a little bit inaccurate as far as my fuel burn and estimated time. Probably look at going about 600 miles on this trip in this one tank, which is only going to put me in Ohio, but obviously I'm going to stop for gas. And obviously my fuel, as much as I'm paying attention to what I'm burning during my stages and whatnot, like I said, if we end up picking up an FS economy flight or something, we'll be taking on whatever type of fuel is in the aircraft. I've looked ahead. After Savannah is going to be Augusta, Georgia. Nothing in Savannah going that direction. Nothing in Augusta right now. Actually, I think there was something in Augusta that was going to take me off my trip leg, and I would have been all for doing it, but there's no Cessna in Augusta, so crapped out on that. Which is, you know, it's pretty crazy. It's tough sometimes. Right now, just run through the list of the things I have right now. I have the stock Cessna, the Airfoil Lab Cessna, Cirrus SR20, which is what the SR22 G2 is what I go out real flying with one of my friends in real life. So I can tell you right now, you know, when it comes to flight sim and how it can translate in my personal experience to flight sim, the Cirrus by far, because I have the most real time in it, is by far the easiest for me to fly. And the real world one that I fly in is the G2. The Cirrus SR22 didn't have full G1000 glass cockpit. It actually has analog gauges on the pilot side and a MFD. So it's kind of, I honestly, personally, in my opinion, I do not really want to plane with a G1000 just because it just seriously feels like cheating. It's not, I mean, the reality is when I go for my private, I'm not going to be training in a plane that has a G1000. I can tell you that. I do not make that kind of money. Although they do have a 182 with G1000s, but Not training in that. Not at 210 an hour whatsoever. Okay, so we're 22 miles away. But yes, the Cirrus does fly. So I got a Cirrus SR20 from the V-Flight Air. So I have the V-Flight Air Class Cockpit Piper 140 and the Classic Piper 140. I also have the Saratoga TC from Alabama. The Cessna 185 Skywagon from, I think that's Alabama. Yeah, that's Alabama. I have the 172 retractable gear, which I think it's a 172. It says it's a 172 RG cutlass. But the only ones that I've found as a documented plane in FS Economy is the 177 RG. So I guess I got to get on the forums and ask that if would the 172 RG be closer to the, I wouldn't classify it as the 172 because it does get more speed. So anyways, on that, the Cirrus SR22 I have from Carenado, it is functional. However, navigation is broken in it. It is for X-Plane 10, not updated for X-Plane 11 yet, and the G1000s are amazing. However, the CDI is broken if you're following GPS. You can use your VLRs, but my other issue is that some of the sound is broken on the Carenado, so that's a little bit broken. Okay, so we should be finding the airfield out here shortly. See a beacon. I want to make sure that we're going to the right one because we also have, not even sure what that is. I'm sure we also have another airport, Savannah Regional, I think. Not quite sure. Tell you what, zooming in, you can really get messed up. Okay. So let's look at our, so it looks like we're right on it. Coming in right on it. There it is. So you can see it now. We'll see when we get there, but just something doesn't seem right with it. But now those are traffic lights, so that's not it. There's the airport, I believe. Anyways, and then the stock airplanes from X-Plane 11. So, I'd really like to fly the Pipers more often, but it seems like there's absolutely no Pipers whatsoever in South Florida or North Florida. So we'll have to deal with that. Okay, so that is, I think, the Savannah. Lights. 13 miles out, and airport is not in sight. GPS says it should be right in front of us. Oh, that's GA 39, which is that little road. or that little airport. Just past that should be KSVN, Savannah. And we're going to KSAV. Tell you what, it does make it a little bit different when you're flying VFR visually. I guess that's got to be it. Looks pretty big. Yeah, now I'm seeing the distinctive cross X-way or runway. So we'll just keep flying 95. I'm getting pretty low, not paying attention to that whatsoever. And like I said, so the next legs of the trip, we're off to Savannah. Then after Savannah, we're going to Augusta, Georgia. And from Augusta, Georgia, if we don't find a nice little FS economy flight that will pick and take somebody off from the direction we're going, it will be on to Asheville. So we're set up pretty good to do a 45 into runway 28. At 8.5, we would make our call tower. So, as we saw, and please, somebody with some expertise so they can help my sanity here with the airfoil labs in the comments or whatnot, send me a message or whatnot. But the only way I have gotten the autopilot to correctly fly a nav is not by the practice of following the radial that's pointing at you. However, flying the radial that is the course. So please, somebody help me, help my sanity, and let me know if that is actually true. Because from everything that I know, as far as personal navigation, you should always fly to the radial that's pointing at you, or at you is a perfect example right there. If you're flying away from the VOR, you should be flying the radial that's pointing away from the VOR and following that, because it has better sensing. But please, anybody, help me out on that, because the autopilot will not fly the correct radial. It'll fly the outbound radial, but it will not fly the to radial. Okay, so we're going to make our way inbound here. Field elevation is 50, so our pattern altitude is going to be 1050, which should not be a given in certain instances. I'm just going by that because we're doing some nice quick little flights here. But okay, so we're coming in. We're going to go landing and lights on. Everything's on. Mags, mixture to full. Fuel pump on. You should check your NOTAMs and airport information to find out what the pattern altitude is, because it could be different than the 1,000 feet above field elevation. Okay, so coming through 1,500, and we're pretty fast, so we're going to dump the throttle out here. Do a little frame stutter here. Okay, let's turn to the frames ahead. Got down to 14 there. think I've kind of gotten used to flying the high textured Airfoil Labs plane at night, which the frames don't get hit that hard then. But they are right now. Let's bring that power back up and level off. Look out the window here. So we're shooting for 2.8. We're a little bit far away from the airport, so I'll have to make a little bit longer base than normal. Okay. We're at the numbers, but I am not going to drop my flaps yet. And I'm going to hold off on descending too early. Shoot for these trees right here as our turn-in point. We're pretty close. Yeah, I don't want to get too crazy with it. Okay. Okay, so let's go to 2-0. And now we're going to drop the flaps. First notch in. Alright, let's check landing lights on, fuel pump on, strobe nav on. Mixture's full. Getting a little slow here. Pitching for 70. Our slow turn to the numbers. Yep, and we're right there. Next notch of flaps. Happy lights are white, so we're above. Bring it back. Reset the view. Missed that intercept. Okay, so we're pitching for 70. Take out the power a little bit. Getting a little slow. Add a little bit more power. Should be going red soon. There we go. We're back on there. We're right at 70. I feel the little crosswind there. Yes, I do. Okay. And we have the field made. So we'll drop that last notch flaps. I'm going to switch to the low res version on a little off center line, but switch to. Oh, that was probably one of my better landings in the last couple of days. 145, not bad. A little late on the flare. Okay, fuel pump off. And where are we parking here? Guess I should have known that before. General aviation is to the left. taxiway Charlie 2. Well, it wasn't beautiful, but we made it. And yes, the last thing I want is those frame stutters when I come in doing an ILS approach or something like that. Speaking of that, interesting enough, even though the next leg probably won't have really bad weather, we are going to go with IFR rules on the next leg. Alright, flaps up. Landing lights off, taxi on, strobe off, leave the beacon on. We'll fly IFR rules as far as altitude and Victor Airways, and then we'll do the ILS approach into Augusta, which the winds are favoring it so perfectly right now that I'm probably gonna finish this video and then do the next leg of the trip. And now I'm a little confused. Yep, Bravo. Yeah, Bravo. C2 to Bravo. We take this down and park in the GA. General Aviation Facility. Alright, everybody. Well, welcome to Savannah, Georgia. Savannah Hilton Head Airport. And thanks for watching leg 2 of the trip to Michigan. And if you stay tuned, be ready to do leg number 3. And let's just find a nice little parking spot here. Just gonna be transient parking right now. I'm gonna park in front of the FBO here. Go get a bottle of water, some snacks. Spin her around here. Alright, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed. And for this leg of the trip, GA Sim
The
Pilot
engine
out.
seems ideally primed.